Happy Halloween. Just me scaring you with this look that I'm doing right now. So I'm just putting on, I actually have painted on, and I literally mean I have a little brush and I just put on the colors. This foundation is from Saint, and I just want to talk about how to have a really sheer look. So this is the Perfector sponge. You can use whatever sponge you want. This one happens to be from Saint, and I run it under the water and squeeze it out so it feels damp to the skin. And all I'm doing right now is I'm just tapping it, kind of like a buffing it into place. I'm not using this motion because I want that color to go right into the skin area. Sometimes if you use brush stroke type, movement, you're actually moving the color around. So we don't want to do that. The reason why I like this technique versus using a brush. If I'm using a brush to blend this in, it's going to be a heavier coverage because these bristles are actually pushing it right into that space. Same motion with the sponge, but the sponge is allowing it to have a little more of a translucent type coverage because I don't want anything really heavy. So this is perfect if you're going to be spending time outside and you don't want that look like you're wearing a lot of makeup, or maybe sorry, I have a hair somewhere. Maybe you're going to a football game and you're going to be outside, and sometimes in the sunshine we can look like we're too made up. So this is just a way to give you coverage and still keep it light and airy, and it doesn't feel bad on your skin. So this is usually what I do every day. And then if I'm going to do some appearance, whether it's on camera or like an event, then I'll use the brush. Then I'll go in and use that because it's a heavier coverage. But for just every day, this is what I do. Okay, same idea of light coverage with your contour. So I've just placed it. This is cream makeup. This is from Saint. It's really easy to blend. And then I'm going to use a smaller sponge to blend this in. And so the sponge is still damp. And I'm just pushing this color kind of up into the hairline a little bit. If you're blonde, you can just, be careful with it, but you can clean up your roots afterwards if you feel like you've got makeup in there. But you're just kind of creating this halo around your face of shadow, okay? When we use a foundation, sometimes, it does. It creates a blank canvas. And then we go back in with color to create shadow and depth and all that kind of stuff. So this step is really important. If you're in the club like me, I'm in my 50s, and as gravity happens to our face, it pulls everything down, which is why we can have jowls, which is why we have those deep marionette lines. And so contour kind of helps pull it all back up. I did a little bit on my jawline, so if you want a more defined jawline, you can do it there. And just right under the tip of my nose. But again, this is giving me a sheer coverage with my contour, just using a sponge to blend it. So now I've placed my bronzer. This is Bella, and it's also from Saint. So I'm going to use the same technique with the same sponge, and I'm just dabbing it into place and just kind of moving it around. Now, the beauty with using cream makeup is that it's not set yet. So you have the, it has the flexibility to move around as you want to blend it. With powder, sometimes it can stick, and that can be a good thing, but if you're trying to blend, it's sometimes not. So what I like to do is use this cream first, and then when I'm all done, then I'm going to set with powder. But for right now, I'm just warming up the face. Also, I've noticed that one thing I do is I don't have it completely translucent the way I want it to, because when I do use the setting powder, it'll kind of all mute it out and it'll all blend a lot better. Okay, this is cream lip and cheek, and this color is called Baby Watermelon. Again, it's from Saint. Same sponge. It's still damp. Y'all, I do wash these things, so I know that this is what it looks like, but it is also stained. So you see this flat end? I'm just going to use that, and I'm just pushing it into place, kind of a dabbing motion. Now, I like to start my color about here, because then I have the ability, I can move it up or I can move it in. If I started it too close in, I'm going to lose product by the time I get up here, and I don't want to put any more on. Plus, you can kind of control how far am I going up. Think about, where would the sun naturally get me? Where would I naturally have some color? And then right in this area, I just blend it a little bit, okay? Again, on this side. So now, if you understand, I've used only cream makeup for my, basically the foundations of the color of my makeup. And I like that because it gives me the ability to move it around. So that is it for the cream. Now what I do is, this is Laura Mercier, and there's lots of setting powders you can use. I have always used this one. I like this one a lot. I like it really a lot. I've used it for years. And I always get translucent, so I don't get a color with it. I found on my skin, if I try to match some sort of color, it ends up looking very, looks a little grandma, because it kind of turns out a little too orange, or maybe it's too pink. Okay, so I've loaded the Beauty Blender with some powder, and I'm just defining that area right under the cheekbone. I'll do it on the other side too. And I'm going to let that set. This technique is called baking. Okay, I'm just going to let it set. So what that's going to do is give me more of a definition of like a lifted cheek. Again, we are fooling Mother Nature by creating shadows and images to pull our face up. And then the rest, I'm just patting it in, and I'll go over with a brush and blend it out. Okay, but I'm kind of leaving the cheeks alone for now, so I'm just focused on the T-zone. And then I went ahead and did over the eye so that any moisture can be absorbed, and my shadows will stay true to the colors that I want. Okay, finished product. Again, everything was blended with 2 sponges that were damp. Makeup is from Saint, including all eyeshadow and lip. And anyway, I just wanted to show you that technique, that you can get a really sheer finish if you're not into a lot of makeup, or you don't want to look like you're wearing a lot of makeup. It's really this. It's really the matter of keeping it wet and then just dabbing it on. You still get coverage, but you don't have a heavy set finish like you would if you use brushes. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for being on my channel. I'll see you next time. Bye.